we were told the story of humanity's first bloodshed, Cain and Abel. Cain's hatred for God and jealousy of his brother led to the brutal murder of Abel. But evil did not stop with Cain. Evil continued its reign over the hearts of man. God, for the good of humanity, now has a plan for purification and redemption, inspired by the book of Genesis. Mankind multiplied. With more people filling the earth, more opportunities for evil abounded. Sons and daughters of Cain established corrupt kingdoms. Men treated women as property, and the twisted hearts of people cast the world into darkness. Even the lives of people began to shorten, and humans were dying earlier and earlier. Mighty men of old would steal away women and rape them. These things God would not ignore. The actions of people at this time reflected a broken and corrupt heart. God saw this wickedness and regretted greatly the state of humanity. In sorrow he said, "I will blot out man whom I have created from the face of the land." Yet out of this twisted generation, there was one man named Noah, who was righteous in God's eyes. God said to Noah, "I have determined to make an end of all flesh, for the earth is filled with violence through them. Behold, I will destroy them with the earth." The wrath of God would descend in the form of rain, and water from beneath the earth would come after. This was God's punishment. The flood was coming. God instructed Noah and his sons to build an ark, a mighty vessel that would preserve him, his wife, his sons, and their wives from the coming storm. Noah and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, built the ark exactly as God had instructed. He also instructed Noah that he should bring every animal with them in pairs and keep them alive in the ark. Even now God was making promises to redeem the world. Noah fearfully and obediently followed every instruction that God gave him. When the time had come for the flood to begin, God told Noah, "Go into the ark and take your family with you. The rain will fall for 40 days and 40 nights. It will destroy the land and all those who live on it, but your family and all the animals that come to you will be saved." When Noah's family and all the animals were secured in the ark, God shut the door. 7 days later, the rain began to fall, and the cleansing power of God opened. Water fell from the skies, and the springs of the earth burst open violently. The water rose, covering the mountains, and washing away all the corrupt and evil kingdoms built by the wickedness of mankind. God once breathed life into mankind, and now he took their breath away. All was destroyed, all but those on the ark. After 40 days had passed, the raining ceased, and the earth was still underwater for 150 days. At the end of the 150 days, the water had receded enough for the ark to land on the side of a mountain. After 4 months had passed, Noah opened a window and sent out a raven to find dry land, but the raven never returned. Noah then sent out a dove to seek out dry land, and it returned because there was no dry land for it to perch on. 7 days later he sent the dove out again, and it came back with an olive leaf, meaning that the dove had found dry land and came back. Noah waited another 7 days and sent the dove out again, hopeful that it would not return, meaning the land was ready to live on. This time it didn't return, so Noah knew that the water was not covering the earth anymore. After a month had passed, Noah opened the door and saw that the land was dry. God beckoned Noah to come out of the ark. So Noah brought his family and the animals out of the ark and offered a sacrifice to the Lord, just as Abel did before them. God was pleased to receive their offering, and vowed to never flood the earth again. So God gave Noah permission to eat animals and plants, so they might multiply the earth again. With the newness of life, God put a rainbow in the sky as a symbol of his promises. The story of evil does not end here, but the story of God and his passion to preserve and protect those he loves is still unfolding. Evil abounds, but the promises of God prevail still.